Okay. I'm going to work. I'm leaving work. I'm leaving work. And I have to go down to the auto store to pick up some stuff. I gotta pick up some power steering fluid today. I'm done working for the day. I haven't been feeling like working. I'm blessed to have the job that I have, but I really honestly have not been feeling like working. The job that I have, I can work when I'm ready to work. I can work as many hours as I want. I can work as least hours as I want. I can take off any day that I want, so it's very flexible. I really honestly just have not been feeling like working. So it lets me know that I have to really put some prayer time in. Anyway, I don't even know what I want to talk about. I did say I wanted to post at least like 1 or 2 videos a day. I don't know if that's necessarily possible. But I'm in I think I'm in Riverview. I worked out in Riverview today. And I'm on my way back to Tampa. Oh, let me put the camera on the road. I didn't even realize that. I love this this phone holder. I really do. Oh, damn. So I've been thinking lately, like the weather here, in Florida it's been cool. It's been off and on. One day it might be cool, one day it might be warm, one day it might be really hot. We might start up hot in the morning, end up cool at night, start off cool in the morning, end up hot at night, so it's like that. It's kind of bouncing around, When during the summertime, I would say during the summer, was it the summer or the fall? Because it's still hot here in the fall. It's hot in the winter, just fluctuate a little bit more. But anyway, nonetheless, and that's where I need to be going, right there to the daggone. Is it the Pep? Because I need some power steering fluid, and I'm wondering if I should go in there and get it, or should I wait till I get downtown? I might just wait till I get downtown. I think I need a funnel too. I don't know. But yeah, I used to swim. I have a gym membership, and I love to go swimming. I love it a little too much, probably. I would like to find somewhere here. I haven't taken the time out to do it, but I wanted to find somewhere where they have an inside pool. Even if I had to get a second gym membership, that'd be nice, But nonetheless, I am on my way downtown. Do I have a lot to do tomorrow? I don't think I have a lot to do tomorrow. Tonight's probably going to be a very peaceful night for me. I deal with anxiety. I don't deal with depression. When I was young, I used to deal with depression a lot, believe me, a lot. But I don't deal with depression so much. I deal more so with anxiety, or whatever. But a lot of times when I pray, it helps, and it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Or whatever. So I wanted to talk more about prayer and darkness. Like, I've been having a few dark days, people don't understand. Like, a lot of people understand, and then you do have people that understand that when you didn't have the best when you didn't have the best upbringing in your life, you can suffer from a lot of things. Like I said, I suffer from like depression and anxiety, and you never know how that can affect your life. I think everybody handles their issues differently. A lot of us don't even know we have, problems. But one thing I do know is everybody, I don't care who you are on this earth, I don't care where you live, there's something going on with everybody, period. People can say, oh, I'm normal, I'm perfect, and this and that. That is not true at all. It's not true at all. But nonetheless, Lord knows I'm getting better. And I found myself doing the same thing that I have been doing for many, many years, which is putting a lot on myself. That was one of my biggest downfalls in life, was taking on too much responsibility and not having the help that I need to navigate, a lot of the things that I was taking on. And so I was like I've been crashing out. Like, I think I had a small crash out last night. And one of my associates, I'm not going to call this person my friend or anything like that, but I had me and an associate was talking this morning. No, it was last night. And we kind of touched briefly on how they even noticed how from the past that I put so much on my plate. I took on so much responsibility that I couldn't handle. I'm a workaholic. I'm the kind of person I will work a lot. When I look back on the times when I was raising my son, I remember looking back on the years from the time he's been on this earth. I'm like even a little bit before he was born, if I'm not mistaken, I worked. I'm like, man, I work like 16 hours a day, like 5 days a week. And then sometimes on my days off, I would still work. And I did this for not 5 years, not 10 years, not 11 years, like 20 plus years. And I don't know how that may have affected me mentally or anything like that. And then working like that, and then also taking on a huge challenge to homeschool my son. I had homeschooled my son off and on for a few years. There was times when my son would have to deal with bullying in school, and I would take him out, and that was more of a challenge than I could have imagined in my mind. It got easier in time. I gotta fix my rear mirror. It got better in time, I would say that, but in the beginning, in the middle, I didn't still having to work off a lack of sleep. I don't know how I made it, honestly. I don't know how I made it some days, to be totally honest. I do not know how I did it, but now in my life right now, I'm still struggling with that problem. Working too much now. I haven't worked in a few days. Like I said, I've been kind of crashing out on some things. I don't know how to stay positive. That's not easy. Not for me, and probably for a lot of people. And so I'm gonna start doing some bids at the gym. Start doing some videos at the gym or whatever. Probably, I would like to find a gym where I can, if they have an indoor pool. Now, I'm not going to name this gym, and I'm so funny about gyms, though. I had joined a gym. This was like, I want to say, was it last year? Let me think for a second. It wasn't last year. I want to say the year before. And I had joined this gym where I love the pool. They had an inside pool. They had a jacuzzi. I never used a jacuzzi. I wanted to, and I never used. Yeah, I did. Okay, that was the only thing that I didn't utilize. I don't really even think I used the gym equipment that much. Because I just like to really swim. and stretch. Those are like my two biggest things, is swimming and stretching. Okay, but anyway, nonetheless, I had was getting in the pool, and in order to get to the pool is right next to the jacuzzi, or jacuzzi next to the pool, whatever. And I had I'm not even supposed to be in this lane, y'all. Let me see if they'll let me get over, because I'm not supposed to be in this lane. Why are you just staring at me, idiot? And so, it's too late. You gotta get in the right lane. Sorry, it's too late, baby. Too late. So anyway, this guy. It was two older men in this pool. Okay. 2 older men in this pool. I mean, I can guess their age, but I don't know how old they was. But I know they were like older than my mother. My mother is in her 60s, her early 60s. So I know they was like, I don't even think they were in their 60s. But anyway, they had, it was like a green patch of some kind of substance that was like floating on top of the water. Okay, and of course, you see something like that, you're not getting in that pool. I mean, in that jacuzzi. And I was just like, why would people, if you have sore, and when they got out, I saw that they had like sores on their legs, And I'm like, if you have sores on your leg, you're so you have sores, and it's probably from poor circulation, and why would you get in the pool and jeopardize other people getting sick, just because you want to, I think that was so wrong. But anyway, nonetheless, you got to be careful, guys. Like, you see something like that, be very vigilant when you go into gyms and stuff like that. This particular gym that I went to, and what was so crazy, because the membership was not cheap for this particular gym, and it's supposed to be one of the best gyms, because it's been around, and it's a well-known gym, and it's been around for a long time. At this particular one, I can't speak on all the hundreds or 300 ones they have, but I will say this particular one that I went to was not it. They did not keep that place clean, I'm gonna talk all the way until I get to my destination. I really want to go to, oh my God, I'm in the wrong lane again, y'all. I'm in an area that I've never been in, so I'm really not familiar with this area. I could have made a U-turn right there, I think. So I gotta make a U-turn. I didn't know that they had a divider like that. They had, if you watching the video, you can see it has a divider. I didn't know it had a divider. So that threw me off. And my GPS tells you things so late at times. GPS is weird. Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, that's what I pretty much do when I go to the gym. And I do it, it helps me out. It helps with my anxiety. It keeps me calm. It helps with my depression, especially if it's a sunny day. The water is just right. I love it. I really do. I really love it. I want to go to a botanical garden. I've been working on trying to work on making sure that I'm doing things to make myself happy, and that'll bring me joy, pure joy and contentment. Like not working as much. I love animals. I love plants. I love flowers. And people who know me, they know this, you know, so I'm trying to work on that, staying away from toxic people. If I find that people, certain people are toxic, I'll just stay away from you. I'm recently doing that right now. Even if I make acquaintance, and if I see that you're toxic, because I have to kind of keep myself safe, which is not always easy from a lot of things that I've been through. I try to keep myself safe as far as like being around people that's, you know, gonna tempt me to go back into like a depression or have my anxiety all over the place and so forth. I had a relative, I don't know if I put this in my video yesterday, but I had a relative, I had crashed out recently. I had a relative who literally was so disrespectful. I don't know, I do not remember I put this in the video yesterday, but who was so disrespectful in the things that he said. And I think maybe he was just being lighthearted, you know, making light of a situation. But in my mind, it's like, nah, like you're doing too much. You're just doing way too much. And just, you know, to stay respectful. I didn't respond. I didn't say anything negative back. But as far as in my mind, this person does not exist to me no more. Like I'm not the greatest person in the world, but at the same time, you know, I've been around some really crappy people that I ended up in trouble in situations that I should not have been in. Due to crappy people. I have always given people chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. Okay? I'm trying to think, where am I gonna go? I'm trying to think, do I go downtown or do I get I want to get my feet done today. I want to get a pedicure. I think that's where I might go. Go get my pedicure. I might have to change my GPS. What time is it? This ain't the time for me to go get it. Darn it. Yeah, but this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna have a peaceful night tonight. I should have a peaceful night tonight. And just continue to pray. Put the Most High first. I can't wait to further my videos. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. I think the next thing I want to talk about is, like, I think I had put it in my one video yesterday. It's about like spiritual warfare. Like, I've been suffering from spiritual warfare for a very, like, all my life. And okay, I didn't make the right time. With spiritual warfare, my entire life, my life has been very hard. I have never had a soft life, even though I created a soft life for my son. But I sacrificed me having a soft life to make sure that my son had a good life. Okay, had a good upbringing, that he didn't have to suffer. I don't think I ever had one. I remember I was talking to an ex of mine, and when we was together, well, not recently, but when we were together, he used to say, "You never have anything positive to say." And I said, because I haven't had a lot of great experiences in my life. I just haven't had a lot of good, you know, I just haven't had a lot of good experiences. I speak about things that I know. Now, can I be positive? Me speaking on things that I know, if they're negative, they're just negative. But me, myself, being negative, I'm not a negative person, you know? But I did not have a good life. I did not have a good upbringing. did not have good parents. I did not have a good family, a supportive family, a loving family. It's so crazy because I remember talking to certain family members about that. People would make the excuse for not being there, for not, I would rather a person say, we just don't like you, we just never liked you, even though you didn't do anything, we just don't like you because we just never liked your ass, but like, don't make excuses for not being there. Like, I've had a family member say, like, I've heard some different family members say different things that none of it made any sense to me. And I had a family member make me feel bad for wanting to have a relationship with certain people in my family that I wasn't having. I was like, I think it's normal to want to have a happy, healthy relationship with your mother. I think it's normal to want to have a happy, loving relationship with your sisters. I think it's normal to want to have a happy, normal relationship with your brothers, your cousins. Where is that not normal? So not to want to have that. I don't think that's, not normal to want those things, So I thought it was strange, and I didn't like the way it made me feel. It made me feel real uncomfortable to ever talk to that person again, because I'm just like, why would you say that? Like, and then what's so crazy is because this person, you have your mother. Your mother is not the best person. I know this particular cousin. I knew his mother. She used to babysit me sometimes when I was a child. I remember her. So I'm like, she's like, your mother's trash, really. But I see you still have a relationship with your mother. Your mother's really no better than mine. Like, and it's not even sometimes wanting to have. I just want a respectful relationship with people. Like, just respect me. Like, I just. That's my biggest thing that I've always had growing up, and the spiritual warfare. I really crashed out the other day explaining to one of my associates how, like, the spiritual warfare that I've been going through for a long time has really not driving me. I would say maybe even so driving me crazy. Really just it has taken its effects. It has taken its toll from time to time. Like, I'm just tired of the things that I go through. That my experiences is wild. Like, I've tried to remain in control over a lot of things that I have went through in my life. This spiritual warfare, and don't get me wrong, when I say spiritual warfare, I'm not saying that it's because people, I think sometimes people just don't understand, or people may willingly misunderstand you and what you may be trying to say. And I'm like kind of like lacking the words right now. But when I say spiritual warfare, I'm not excluding things that I may have brought upon myself in my life, or things that happen naturally. Like, I'm talking about things that can't be explained, things that, I've been a chameleon. I've changed myself a million times just to fit in and please people, just because I was trying to figure out what am I going through, and this is what I want to talk about, is like spirituality in my prayer right now, because like I want to say I haven't prayed in I'm lying. I prayed last night, this morning I did pray, but usually I pray more than what I pray, and I'm a firm believer in praying without ceasing, which people think is impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's just about a matter of a mind thing, but nonetheless, I think it's important. I believe like people like me have to pray a lot more because of the spiritual warfare that we go through, that we're facing. When I look at my family and how my family was destroyed, when I look at how my father was destroyed, how my mom was destroyed, how my grandparents and so forth and so on, it's kind of scary because it's like, that means, you know, at my age, it's my turn. Like, the devil is coming to totally take me out. And when you're fighting, you know, not to be totally taken out, you know, it doesn't make life easy. You're still here. You still have to fight. Like, I'm fighting spiritually. I've been being beat up spiritually, abused spiritually for, man, all my life. I've had family, like, people don't know this. There's only maybe 1 or 2 people that I grew up with that I have talked to over the years that know this. I'm like, hey, this is what I went through. This is what, you know. They be like, yo, you're a spiritual warfare. Are you a chosen person? I don't want to get into that, but, you know, like, I've been really battling spiritually, like the things that cannot be explained. Like, I want to make videos about that. Like, it was a guy who made a video recently. I don't know this man's name. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the video that I saw, I did subscribe to his channel, and it is on my list to watch this man's video because I'm really intrigued by it. I'm gonna post it on my Facebook, and maybe put it in a link when I post this video on YouTube or whatever. If anybody listens to it, anybody's interested. And it's about how the strategies and the tactics of, you know, like spiritual warfare, like the tactics and the strategies of Satan. I had realized right before I saw that video, I was like, you know, I've been abused all my life. That is a strategy and a tactic of the Most High. It's getting around, being abused, being verbally abused, financially abused, mentally abused, physically abused. When people are being used by demonic forces, sexually abused, there's so many different types of abuse, and Satan will use people that are around you that are weak-minded or whatever, weak emotionally, to use them to abuse you. So when you're in that spiritual warfare, and I mean, in my experience, because I'm going to elaborate, he will use people to talk to you any kind of way. You may go from the city to city, town to town, job to job. You may be the kind of person that can't keep a job because every job you go to, you're being lied on, you're being bullied, you're being picked at. I went through that for years. Matter of fact, that might be my next video about spiritually how I was attacked. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I think I mentioned it in my other video. Like, when I get quiet, it's because my GPS is talking. And I think I'm supposed to be getting off very, very soon. Come on, please. Please, come on, so I can get in the lane. You will put your blinker. It's weird because people, this is how selfish people are. Like, if somebody was to put their blinker on that they're going left or right, like, I'm not going to speed up so that person can, because I want to be first. I'm gonna slow down so that person can get over. But if I put my blinker on, like, I need to get over this lane, all the cars will pass me. They won't let me get over. I think it's so, like, human nature is wicked. It's a wicked nature. But anyway, I dealt with that spiritual warfare for a very, very long time. So me, like, I'd rather have agency jobs, you know, because agency job, you don't have to see the same people. You don't have to stay in one place too long, you know. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, you don't have to stay in one place too long. You can always, if you go somewhere you don't like the environment, then you don't ever have to choose to go back there, or you start your own business. You know, I've had my own business before, and I loved it because, you know, you don't have to deal with the pressures of being in one place and having to see the same people every day who may end up getting jealous of you, being envious of you, disliking you, bringing or taking their frustrations out on you because they're having problems at home, or and this is what the world is actually dealing with. There's a lot of people that go to work and get bullied and who have problems. I remember for a long time my mother used to always tell me that, and I've heard it so many times, man. So I've heard it so many times where people will say, well, if you're complaining about the same thing over and over, it must be you. Let me explain something to you. That is not true. That is not true. That is a huge lie. If you are going through the same thing over and over, I've heard it. It's so cliche. It's not real. It is a huge lie. In some cases, and people say it because in some cases that can be the case, that can be true. It is not true with everything, and I think that's where it can get confusing, because I used to be confused by that. I used to be like, man, I go to this job, I'm so sweet, I'm so loving, and I mean, I went through this for years. And people like that I would know from the past, that I would talk to and stuff. Well, Tiff, you could be a little mean, and Tiffany, you got to learn to open up, and you can't go to the job and just not talk, and you can't do. It was just always, people will always want to give their advice about how I should go about, making my environment better, creating a better environment for myself, different ways. I tried it all. I tried to go into work just focusing on my work. That didn't work. I would go to work and be the sweetest thing. That didn't work. I would go to work and be stoic. That didn't work. I would go to work and it just, none of it worked until, I'm gonna tell you when things started getting better for me was when I kind of decided just to say I don't care about none of it anymore. Honestly, I still have like certain issues on jobs and stuff like that, but things really didn't start getting a little bit better until I was just like, I don't even care about how these people are acting. But I damn sure ain't gonna stay nowhere. I'm not gonna stay on no job where I feel like I'm being totally abused every day. And I was dealing with heavy demons. I was dealing with heavy spiritual warfare, heavy demons in the workplace. And out the workplace, but I'm not speaking on that right now. But I dealt with heavy demons, spiritual, in the workplace. Couldn't hold a job, couldn't keep a job. And I used to be hurt, to cry, because I'm like, man, I'm oh my God, I'm so nice. I'm coming to work on time. I'm working my butt off. I'm getting everything done. I'm not lacking. I'm not slacking. And if it wasn't my coworkers, when I was working in healthcare, if it wasn't my coworkers, it was the patients, the people that I was taking care of. I'm like, man, I'm taking good care of you. Why would you go back and tell them that I did this, or I said this, or I, whatever? Why would you do that when I'm taking? I mean, I didn't say that to these people literally. I did to one patient, and you're not supposed to do that, but I said that to one patient. Why would you want to hurt me like that? Like, I have a life, I have a child, I have bills. Like, my life is hard already. So make it hard for me, but the spirit, I never really wanted to believe that it was spiritual warfare. But as now, at my age now, and when I look back on my life, it's all, especially the stuff that I had just came out of, I was like, oh, this is definitely spiritual warfare. Because the stuff that was happening didn't make sense. None of it made sense, So I'm going to do some more vids about that. I think my phone is dying. I need to get me another cord. I'm about to go up here to my favorite place, the Dollar Tree. And go up here and get me another cord, whatever. And get me some snacks, and I have to be somewhere This is a nice little area over here. I like it over here. It's kind of sweet over here. But yeah, I've been dealing with spiritual warfare since I was young. Like from day one all the way up until now. It's crazy. That's why I said, like, me, I'm not saying, like, I'm just one of, I'm really nobody for real. Like, I'm just one out of a gazillion people in this world. And so my advice to anybody who's going through strong spiritual warfare, the best thing is just to stay in prayer. When they say Psalms 91, just stay in prayer. I'm getting ready to pray. As soon as I get up here, I'm going to pray. Because it just, the things that I've had experienced in my life, besides the things that I probably put myself through, and also just being naive, just things that you just didn't know as a person. It don't make you a bad, I tell people all the time, just because you've done things or whatever don't make you a bad person. You just don't, sometimes you just don't know better. You just don't know better, you know. But and I know we're supposed to get better as age and stuff like that. But anyway, nonetheless, you know, as soon as I get up here, I'm gonna pray. Because my demons are strong, honey. My demons are strong. My spiritual warfare is chaotic. I don't know what's on my bloodline, good or bad. I don't know. I just know that my spiritual warfare is heavy. That's why I pray for my son too. That's why I pray for my son so heavy, because I'm like, he has to go through that, you know, be faced with a lot of those spirits as well. So I be praying for him, you know. So we have to pray throughout the day. We should, you know, read the scriptures, praise the Most High as much as you can. And hopefully I might do another video tonight, because I'll have some time tonight, so before I go to bed. So I'm gonna maybe I'll do a video tonight, maybe not. But nonetheless, I'm gonna end this video. I would love to talk about this, and I think this is what these videos are gonna be about. It's gonna be about, like, my experiences with the spiritual warfare that I've been going through since I was very, very young, and how it's, I'm not gonna lie, I have my days when I want to give up, but I'm not talking about giving up, like, you know, unaliving myself. When I say want to give up, sometimes I just want to be like, I don't even want to try anymore. I'd be like, I'm just tired of fighting. Like, I'm not young anymore. I'm tired of fighting. I'm just like, I just want to, like, if I gotta just live in a box on the corner, like, and I think sometimes I wonder, I see people living on the streets and stuff. I mean, like, did that happen to them? Did they just get to the point where they was just like, screw it, I'm tired? Not all of them, but maybe some of them. Did they ever just say, you know what, I am done. I don't want to do this no more. You know, because that's how I be feeling. Like, sometimes my spiritual warfare is so heavy that I was like, I'll be under the impression that, because I see it different now. I don't look at, like, when I see things happening, I don't see none of these things as, I see it all spiritual now. I see it in a spiritual eye now. And I'm like, I just be under the pressure, like, Satan just, is that why he makes the warfare so heavy, so we can be like, you know what, I'm done. You just be like, screw it, screw the Most High, screw this trying to fight, screw this, you know, I'm just gonna fade out in the background. I be feeling like that sometimes, and probably true. But anyway, I'm just gonna give me something to eat. I'm hungry, and I will make a video maybe tomorrow. Take care, everybody.